Is it a good time to buy a home in Orlando? That's a question that I get often from clients and viewers of this channel. My normal response is it really depends on the individual and their specific needs. However, there are some common threads. In this video, we're going to figure out if it's a good time for you to buy a home in Orlando. Let's first talk about the current state of the housing market in Orlando. It's still what's considered a seller's market. That basically means there's more demand to buy homes than there is inventory of homes. Some homes are receiving multiple offers, but not all homes like we were seeing before. We're seeing interest rates higher than we've seen in recent years, and the housing market in general is pretty unpredictable. Interest rates are still fluctuating quite a bit, and with the current state of the economy, a real estate crash is a possibility. So who should buy a home in Orlando now? I think people who are going to retire soon could be great candidates to buy a home now. When you retire, your income can sometimes be counted differently than when you're not retired. Because of that, it might be more difficult for you to obtain a loan or qualify for the amount that you'd like to spend on your next home. If you're a renter, it could be a great time for you to buy a home in Orlando. The rental market is still unpredictable. Although we aren't seeing the rent rise as quickly as it once did, and some rents are decreasing, rent is still historically high in Orlando. Also, being a renter can be unpredictable. You never know how much your rent may go up when it's time to renew. Also, a lot of landlords are selling their investment properties. I've heard of people having to move pretty quickly once they found out the home they're renting is going to be sold. Your lease should be honored, but you may have to move out once your lease ends, or if you're month to month, they might have you move out sooner than later. You may end up with a new landlord who may not be as nice as your previous one. As a renter, your lease can be terminated early, leaving you to scramble to move. I had a client recently that their lease got terminated early because the Homeowners Association bylaws changed. That subdivision no longer allowed rental properties. Luckily, my client closed on their home before their lease was terminated. Basically, when you're a renter, you really never know what's going to happen, especially in this market. The peace of mind of owning your own home may outweigh the negatives of buying now. Of course, not everyone should be buying now, and I'll talk about some people who should absolutely not buy in a little bit. What do you think? Is it a good time to buy a home in Orlando? Are you thinking of buying now? Do you think it's a bad time to buy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you're enjoying the video so far, liking the video and commenting really helps out the channel. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you are a subscriber, I really appreciate your support. Thanks. Also, if you don't know already, I'm Dan Ganator, a real estate agent in Orlando. If you ever have any real estate questions or need an agent, please reach out to me. My contact information is in the description below. Also in the description is my list of preferred properties that are currently for sale in Orlando. I know there are some people who've been searching for a home for a while but haven't decided to purchase anything yet because it's been hard to get under contract. And also the interest rates have been increasing. Unfortunately, I can't say I see the interest rates for mortgages going down a significant amount real soon. I have had some of my mortgage broker partners tell me that they do believe interest rates will come down in the next couple of years. It's hard to say if that'll happen or not, but it's an interesting thought. Now that sellers are finding it harder to sell their homes, they're more open to negotiating, repairing items, and providing closing costs or partial closing costs for buyers. If the interest rates go up again, I could see the housing market ramping up again and it turns into a very competitive market again. So for some people, the timing may be right. You could buy a home now with less competition and maybe get some closing costs or things repaired so you don't have to spend a lot of money out of pocket once you close on the home. Then in a couple of years, if the interest rates do come down, you could refinance. Obviously, there's a lot of ifs and maybes in that scenario, but I do think for some people, it may not be a bad time to buy. Now let's talk about people who should think twice about buying right now. If you have a low interest rate, like 3%, it may not be a great time to buy. Your interest rate could more than double, making your monthly payment a lot more expensive than what you have now. If you don't plan on living in the home for at least the next 5 years, it may be a bad time to buy. At this point, if you purchase a home now, you have to assume that you're buying at the top of the market or at least close to the top. It'll probably be a little while until your home appreciates a significant amount. I'm guessing for the next few years, we won't see prices rise as much. It's also possible that prices could drop. Buying a home right now is what I considered a long-term play. Now, I do have some people who are buying now and thinking of buying another home in the next few years. However, they plan on renting the home and not selling just yet. So that could work out for people. You just want to make sure that you can rent out the home for enough money to cover all of your expenses on the home. Another person that may not want to buy right now is if you're looking to downsize. It's very possible that with the price of homes and interest rate, your monthly payment will be the same or more for a much smaller home. So it may not make as much sense to downsize at the moment. For tips on how to buy a home in Orlando, check out this video or this playlist about the Orlando real estate market. Reach out to me if you have any questions. My contact information is in the description below. Thanks for watching.